What's up, everybody, and welcome back. This is our tier list ranking for after week 11 of the NFL season. We have NFL football today, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, we are going to just go through and do our tier list ranking. If this is your first time here, first time watching this, as you know, this isn't like a 1 through 32 type situation. This isn't, we go through each category. We go through each individual game, starting from Thursday Night Football all the way down to Monday Night Football, and that is how we do our rankings. And yeah, if you've watched the previous videos, you've seen before how these work, but I decided to change them up a little bit because there are a lot of teams right now in the NFL. I have no idea if they're good or not. I literally don't. So here are our new rankings for the tier list. So we have probably going to win it all. We have contenders. We have the playoff ranking. We have teams that are mid, teams that are trash, and the teams that I have no idea where to put them. Zero, zilch, none. We have ass, we have dookie, and then we also have the New York Jets category. So before we get into our tier list ranking, big shout out, Underdog, Sleeper. Sign up using the code HMM. When you do, you're going to get yourself a deposit match, plus a free 0.5 pick, which is something like Davis Mills only needs 1 passing yard, or Josh Allen only needs 1 passing yard, something like that. Basically, it is free money. So sign up for Underdog, sign up for Sleeper, code HMM, big shout out to them. Let's go through and do our tier list ranking for after week 11. So, to start it off, the first game that we had on Thursday Night Football, we had the New York Jets versus the New England Patriots. And the New York Jets, I am going to put them in the... Why can't I click on anything? I'm going to actually put them in the Dookie category. Now, they're not good. They're not bad. They're moving off of Justin Fields, and they're going to Tyrod Taylor. I think this is a tanking situation for them. While Justin Fields has been playing bad, I think this is them fully admitting, like, hey, this season's washed. We're done. We need a top 5 pick. We need to go out and get a Fernando Mendoza, a Dante Moore if he comes out. We got to get a quarterback. They're admitting that it's not working out. They're probably going to cut Justin Fields in the offseason. They're just admitting it's not working out. And then the New England Patriots, we are moving them, obviously, into the contender category. This team, now, I could honestly probably put them in the probably they're going to win it, but I need to see a little bit more just from, I want to see Drake May in a playoff game. He's dominating right now. People are putting into question their schedule right now and how they're playing weak teams. But listen, when they play a weak team, they're dominating that weak team. That's literally all you can do. And they're built to win in January, possibly even February. They have a good running game, a good defense, a good quarterback. That's what you need. That's what they have. I'm not going to put them in they're probably going to win it category, but they're 1,000% contenders to win the Super Bowl this year. Moving on, our next game, we had our Madrid game, and this was horrible. I don't think we're ever going to have a game in Madrid again, but we had the Miami Dolphins actually getting a win versus the Washington Commanders. So we'll start off with the losers of this game, the Washington Commanders. We're putting them in the Dookie category. Listen, just injuries have derailed them. Terry McLaurin can't stay healthy. Obviously, we saw what happened to Jaden Daniels. This team is just not very good whatsoever. Even without Jaden Daniels, even with Marcus Mariota, you probably should win this game. They didn't, so we are going to put them in the Dookie category, and things just aren't looking good for them. Hey, better luck next year. And then the Miami Dolphins, we're going to put them in ass, where, listen, they could have been in the New York Jets category, but they're actually not playing bad right now. Ever since Tyreek Hill got hurt, they've been playing well. It's strange. It's very weird. I don't get it. So we will put them just in the ass category. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Miami Dolphins. Our next game, we had an overtime winner. The Panthers beat the Falcons. And this is going to be the first team in our new category, the Panthers. I have no idea about the Panthers right now. They are 6-5, but one game they'll look awesome, which they did this game. Bryce Young threw for, 448 yards? And then next week, they're going to get dominated. I don't understand this team. I don't. I had no idea if they're mid, if they're going to find a way to make the playoffs. I have no idea if they're going to collapse and burn. Zero clue where to put this Panther team. I don't know how to bet on them. I don't know how to bet against them. Week in and week out, they are just like, what is going on? They are on my no bet list because I have no idea what they're going to do week in and week out. And then the Falcons, man, this is one of the worst teams in the league right now, but I'm still only going to put them in ass. They just have so many weapons, and they are a less consistent Panthers where they got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and Bijan had a good game, but now Michael Penix Jr. is out for the, this team is so bad, but they should be so good. I would still take them in a game over the Jets and the Commanders, but what is going on? What is going on with this Falcons team? I don't get it. I do not get it. Sorry, I got a text message. Our next game was maybe the best game of the week, probably the best game of the week. And that was the Bucks versus the Bills. And I had the Bills last week as like a just a playoff team, I believe. I may still put them there. I think I'm still just going to put them in the playoff category. I can't see them as contenders winning the Super Bowl because Josh Allen did the thing that I talk about every single week where he remembered he was Josh Allen and went crazy. He went off. But the defense, man, it's not sustainable for an entire playoff run. Like, yes, they may win the first two games they play in the playoffs, make it to the conference championship game. But if you do this versus a team like the Patriots or the Colts, you're going to get dominated. So while the Bills are still a playoff team, their defense is just so bad. It is so bad. And then we're going to do the same thing with the Bucks. Baker is good. The injuries are what's really derailing them right now. And they gave up 44 points to the Buffalo Bills. Again, it's not sustainable throughout an entire playoff run. While they're going to make the playoffs, while they can probably win a game or two, it's not sustainable. I can't see either of these teams being actual Super Bowl contenders based off of this game alone. Too many points were given up. Yes, Josh Allen took over. Yes, that's going to win games in the playoffs. It's not going to win a Super Bowl. They are not contenders to win the Super Bowl because of how they're playing this year with how bad the defense is. Not at all. The next game, we had the Tennessee Titans losing to the Houston Texans. Tennessee Titans, they are in the Jets category. Worst team in the league. They are not good whatsoever. They're actually very bad. Things are just not looking good right now. Hopefully next year, I like Cam Ward as a quarterback, but oh God, this team is very, very bad. They need a lot of help. And then the Houston Texans, I'm going to put them in the ass category for now. I don't know how they're winning games with Davis Mills, CJ Stroud's out. Their defense is good. They do have a good defense. I will say that. But other than that, this team that was supposed to be a playoff team, and they're just not playing well right now. They are in the ass category. We have the Chicago Bears beating the Minnesota Vikings. The Chicago Bears right now, they're a playoff team in my opinion. While I don't obviously think they're contenders, is that they're continually and habitually losing in games and having to mount this fourth quarter comeback, even with like 3 minutes left in the game. And while that's going to get them into the playoffs because they're winning games, it's not sustainable for winning throughout the playoffs. I need to see this team dominate, and they have a chance to shut me up versus my favorite team playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, it may be Mason Rudolph. It may be Aaron Rodgers. We don't know because Aaron Rodgers broke his wrist. We will see. But I want to see if the Bears can get over that hump and beat another playoff caliber team. Well, I'm not saying the Steelers are going to be in the playoffs. We'll get to them soon. Can they beat a playoff caliber team? In a way, the Steelers go back and forth. Like, their defense this week looked good, but then we'll see how they go. We'll see how it looks for them. But right now, the Chicago Bears, they are a playoff team. And the Minnesota Vikings, for me, are just mid. If you watch this channel any second, you know that I don't like JJ McCarthy. I don't think he's a good quarterback whatsoever. And this alter ego thing is my favorite thing in the world because I get to make fun of it. You know, I just don't think they're very good. I think they're mid. I think they're one of these teams that, like, 1 week you don't want to play, 1 week you do want to play them. Just not a big fan whatsoever. Moving on, sticking with the AFC North, we had the Green Bay Packers, or the NFC North, sorry. The Green Bay Packers beating the Giants. Green Bay Packers, are they a playoff team? Are they not? The Green Bay Packers, their record this year is 6-3-1. I think they're a playoff team. They're still a playoff team, but I cannot see them winning anything in the playoffs. Anything at all. I think they get bounced in the first round. But they're going to make the playoffs. I will say that. And then the New York Giants. You know, I'm going to put the New York Giants in the ass category. Mostly just because of all the injuries. I mean, listen, this team can win when they're fully healthy. But as of right now, I actually think the Giants are in a great spot. They have a franchise wide receiver. They have a franchise quarterback. They have a good running back. They have a good, solid defense. And then they're going to end up getting a top 5 pick. So they could bring in like an Avril Reese or a Caleb Downs if they want. Like, they can load up and be juggernauts next year. So I actually think they're in a good spot right now where just keep losing. Get a top 5 pick. Try to get a top 2 pick. Maybe even trade that, get more picks for the next year. Who knows? Who knows? But I actually like the fact that the Giants are losing. But as of right now for this year, they're ass. They're in the ass category. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Cincinnati Bengals 34-12. Pittsburgh Steelers for me right now are mid because you don't know what you're going to get. Listen, they beat up on a bad team, which is the Bengals, which they already lost to the Bengals, but then they lose to the Packers, they lose to the Chargers. Like, this team, there is great potential for them to fall out of the playoffs, but there's also potential for them to win the AFC North. They're mid right now. It's just a mid team. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, they're dookie. They're very dookie. The Steelers kind of exposed this offense. They let Jamar Chase take over in that first game. They kind of held him in check this game. So they're just dookie. They're just not a very good team. Their defense is trash. It's terrible. The next game we had was the Chargers getting mollywopped and murked by the Jags. And the Chargers actually just got terrible towel cursed. If you remember last week after the Chargers beat the Steelers, They pulled some shit with the terrible towel, and they got terrible towel cursed. The Chargers are still a playoff team, in my opinion. I may put them in mid just because of the curse, but curses aside, they're still a playoff team. And the Jaguars, for me, they're mid. They're just mid. Again, they're one of these teams you don't know what you're going to get every single week. What is their record right now? They're 6-4. I don't know how they're 6-4. But they are just a mid team. And sorry, I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker. I don't want to keep you guys here all day. This game here was great, but it may have exposed the Seattle Seahawks. So we had the Rams versus the Seahawks, and the Rams for me are in the probably going to win it category. Their defense is good. Matthew Stafford is an MVP candidate. They look awesome. They look awesome. And I don't know where to put the Seahawks in this. Sam Darnold has looked great all year, but in this game, 4 interceptions. I don't know if they can win it all based off of this game. I'm still going to keep them in the contender category because like I'm gonna give Sam Darnold the benefit of the doubt, being like, hey, maybe this was just a one-off game. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very tempted to put them in the playoff category. I don't know who they play this week, the Seahawks. Let me look real fast. But they got dominated. Who do they play this week? They play the Titans. That's not really going to show anything. Okay, so coming up later in the year, they got a gauntlet. Not a gauntlet. They got a 2-game skid where they play the Colts and the Rams. That is going to determine. I don't think they're not going to fall anywhere lower than playoffs. But they can easily go up, but they can fall down to here. They got to play the Colts and then the Rams in back-to-back games, where they only have a 4 days in between as well. That is a gauntlet for them right now. So we will see how things look for them going after that little stretch. But right now, I will still say they are contenders. They're still contenders to win the Super Bowl, just based on how they played. The 49ers versus the Cardinals. Cardinals are dookie. It might be time to move away from Kyler Murray. Spoiler alert, might be making a video about that over on TikTok if you guys want to check that out. And the San Francisco 49ers are mid. They are mid. I don't know where to put them. Yeah, they're just mid. They're mid right now. They win games, they lose games. Yeah, sorry, brain fart there. All right, moving on. We have the Ravens versus the Browns. Browns are they ass or are they dookie? The Browns are dookie. The Browns are bad. Their defense is great. Myles Garrett is playing great. I actually put out a tweet. Why did I say statement? Like it's a press release. I actually think that if you're the Rams, if Matthew Stafford comes back next year, they have the Falcons first round pick and they have their own first round pick. The Falcons first round pick might be top 5. If I was the Rams, I would trade both of those first round picks to the Browns, try to get Myles Garrett, because then the Browns would have 4 first round picks this next year. That would be crazy for them. It'd be crazy for the Rams. I actually think it makes sense for both teams. So the Browns, they are currently mid, they're currently dookie. The Ravens are mid. The Ravens are shooting upwards though. They're scaring me. I don't like that they're winning games. I don't like it whatsoever, because they're probably going to end up winning the AFC North, and it's going to make me so freaking mad, because the Steelers could add a 3.5 game lead in the division, and they're going to squander it because Mike Tomlin is incompetent at his freaking job. But right now, they are a very mid team. Next up, the Chiefs versus the Broncos. Chiefs, mid. Very mid. 5-5. That's as mid can get. You ain't going to get any more mid than that. This team may not even make the playoffs. We'll see. The league will probably start giving them the benefit of the doubt and helping them out so they get into the playoffs. And then the Denver Broncos, for me, I think they're contenders. I think they are contenders because their defense is awesome. They have a very good defense. I think this is a team that could potentially win the Super Bowl. And now we had our Sunday night game. We had the Lions versus the Eagles. Eagles are in the probably going to win it category. Lions, for me, I don't know if they're contenders. I'm going to put the Lions in the playoff category right now because they're not beating good teams. They're not. Dan Campbell went 0 for 5 on 4th down. He's making dumb decisions. The offense looked terrible. I think they're just a playoff team right now. And the Eagles are obviously the Eagles. The defense looked great. They finally got A.J. Brown involved. Yes, they only scored 16 points. They're still, I mean, they're literally getting to the quarterback with like a 2-man pass rush. It's crazy how good their defensive line is, and they're built to win in the playoffs just because of that defensive line and because of how good their defense is. And their running game, it's not as good as last year, but it's still good. They're built to win it all. And then finally, our Monday Night Football game was a game between trash, which is the Cowboys. The Cowboys, they're not very. I would take all of these teams up here over the Cowboys, and then the Raiders are in the Jets category. They are freaking bad. They're terrible. And then lastly, for our bye week teams, we had the Colts and the Saints. Saints are in the Jets category. They're horrible. They're terrible. They're awful. They need a quarterback in the worst way. And the Colts are in the probably going to win it category. So, everybody, those are my rankings for after week 11 of the NFL season. Let me know what you think about them. Let me know where I'm right. Let me know where I'm wrong. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow for an episode of the Hail Mary. Big shout out again to Underdog and Sleeper. Also, again, follow us on all of our short form platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Shorts. We're everywhere. And follow us over on X. We have 2 accounts: Hail Mary _media, Hail Mary Media _ on X. And then we also have a new account, Benny Yinzer, which is my personal brand account as well. So make sure you guys are following us everywhere. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I will see you all tomorrow for an episode of the podcast of the Hail Mary. Have a beautiful day, guys.